This is Bruce Bochy, and you're listening to the Ranger Report.
The Ranger Report. Yeah, the Ranger Report. If you want the inside scoop, listen to the Ranger Report. Oh, here we go.
This is the Ranger Report podcast. News, insights, predictions, interviews, and information about the Texas Rangers from the major leagues to the minor leagues. And now, here are your hosts, Ben Dieter and CJ Berryman.
Welcome to the Ranger Report broadcast, brought to you in part by Walton's Everything But the Meat. We are also brought to you by Dallas Sports Nation and coming to you from the Preferred Health Solutions online studio, and we are part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm CJ Berryman. Ben is adulting today, so I am joined by co-host Tyler Nielsen and Kane McCutcheon. How are you fellas doing?
Good. How are you, bud?
Great. Now that we're coming home 2-0, up 2-0.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go.
Kane said off air he's going to be at the game tomorrow singing Creed. You probably don't even know who Creed is.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what Creed is, but I'm gonna learn it tomorrow and I'm gonna be singing it. So if you see me at the game, come say what's up, we'll take a picture, do all the things. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, back in me and Tyler's high school days, our heydays, I should say, Creed was very, very popular. They had some good stuff. They really did, and then just disappeared. But we are happy that the Rangers are coming home starting tomorrow. They are up 2-0, and they will be hosting the Orioles, not the Royals. The Royals wish they were. Royals wish they were there. The Orioles, and let's talk about that. 2 games up in Baltimore. That the atmosphere was great. Baltimore brought it, and we certainly expect the Rangers coming home that our home crowd is going to bring it too. What do you think, Tyler?
It's well said what you said. It's kind of a mirror reflection of our season. You know, they've had their ups and downs, but they came into that series and they're just gritty. You know, they find a way to win. Our pitching staff looked unbelievable in that series. And Montgomery didn't have his best stuff, but he still got out of the damage and looked really good. But all in all, I thought our bullpen handled their job pretty good for what they've been exposed to all season. So I was happy just taking the first one, getting the home field back into Texas, but taking both. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Okay, How about that Garver slam that kind of let everybody breathe, because we were runners in scoring position have not been taking advantage of, I guess I could say, most recently with the Rangers, but they sure did there in that Garver grand slam. Everybody could take a deep breath.
Yeah,
CJ, oh, I'm sorry, Kane. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'll just say, you got to breathe for a little bit until about the 9th inning right there. Yeah. I like the word gritty that you used, Tyler, because talking to Bruce Bochy this entire season, the one word that he's mentioned to me over and over and over again is resilience. And this team is really, really resilient. I mean, think of it from not even a baseball perspective. These guys haven't been home since September 24th. Yesterday when they got back, that was the first day they were home. And, obviously, being close to a couple guys on the team, I know some people that were on the trip media wise. And so it's tough. Like, that's a tough road trip. And for them to play how they've been playing is certainly a testament to the resilience of this team. I think all along this team's been super streaky, and right now they're kind of peaking at the right time. We saw it with the Phillies last year. We saw it with the Braves in 2021. It's like you just got to get hot at the right time, and they certainly have. So, I mean, they played more, better than you can imagine in the playoffs so far. I think any Ranger fan, this is an ideal situation to be in right now.
Absolutely. That team that got on the plane from Seattle headed over to Baltimore was not the same team that that got off of it. It didn't seem they looked sharp. They looked ready to go. And if you listen to the FS1 broadcast, it's because the Orioles got a first-round bye. That's why. And the Orioles apparently were the only team that played, even though they lost both games. If you listen to the broadcast, that was horrible. I mean, come on. The Rangers take a 9-2 lead. And I liked one of the tweets from was it? I can't remember who it was. I'll get the name right later, but it said that and the Rangers are up 9-2, and biggest part of that is the Orioles are going to have a bright future. And then they talked about the Orioles in the future and what you how to learn. I mean, it's like, good Lord, could you not? I mean, at Bradish, they were all over Bradish, and then right as they were doing it, he gives up 2 runs, and it sounded like a punch in the gut to the broadcasters. And then John Smoltz, I love John Smoltz, but come on.
Oh, I know. That's what me and my fiance were talking about during the game. So I was like, I mean, they don't say anything about the Rangers. I was like, here we are dominating the Orioles in this series, and all they're still doing is talking about the Orioles. I was like, come on, give us credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I don't really ever talk about broadcasters, commentators. Quite frankly, I don't really ever watch the broadcast when I'm at work. But working from home, I watch the broadcast. And I had seen a bunch of people tweeting it. And what I really got this example was in the game 2, they were doing it. They've been doing it all weekend. But I left to go to the bathroom. They were talking about the Orioles. I came back. The Rangers had scored more runs, and they were still talking about the Orioles. At that point, I was like, okay, like it's 9-2. Like we're dominating. Like what's more to be talked about? I think the storyline that wasn't really talked about, honestly, is the fact that the Rangers straight up ran the Orioles out of their own stadium 2 straight days. But that wasn't talked about at all. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the FS1 broadcast. Dave, CJ, Emily, everyone at Valley Sports Southwest, we very much appreciate you.
Yeah,
I was begging, not begging, but certainly wishing that we had the Valley broadcast somehow. It just by the second inning of the second game, I just muted it. I couldn't do it anymore. And
that's when he just turned off the broadcasting and click on the radio.
Turn on the radio and let Nate. I have a delay because I'm streaming, so I couldn't do that without knowing what happened before it happened. But I almost did. I should have, but I'd rather listen to Nadell call it ahead of time than listen to the crap that was coming over the TV. But anyway, and one thing that this series has put in the limelight is a lot of young players on both sides. A whole lot of young players, not a whole lot of veterans that are playing. And it's funny that the Rangers' 2 rookies, one who's only been here a month, really, really, really stole the show almost in both games, if you look at it. Yeah. Tyler Nilson's Josh Young, Tyler Nilson's alma mater, Texas Tech.
You bet. Go Young. He's amazing. But Evan Carter, I think right now, if you really look at it, he's been the MVP of the playoffs. I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, to say that being a 21-year-old, but I mean, look what he's doing. He's getting on basically every single time he comes up to the plate. And the other players are following right behind him. I'm not saying the other players haven't stepped up too, but Evan Carter just, being at that age, I can't imagine, what he's going through, but it's just amazing and fun to watch.
Yeah. I think, not to get all churchy here for a second, but this kid, the first day he got called up, I remember we're waiting for him to come out, and he walks out of the tons of media in there, because whenever a kid makes their debut, everyone's talking to him. He walks out of the clubhouse, his shirt says Jesus won on it, and I'm like, is this dude preaching? I bring that point up to suggest, you can tell, this kid isn't phased. And this, this whole baseball thing is the moment's not too big for him, because he knows what it is. He knows, we all know it's something of this world, and the things of this world are going to fade. And so that I think plays to his advantage when it comes to the playoffs, because, it's a baseball game. No moment it's too big for this kid. And he's echoed that sentiment. But just the stuff that he's doing is just really, really impressive. I know I don't have a large baseball watching resume to say, but in my, 10, 12 years of watching baseball, this dude is one of the best guys I've ever seen taking that bat. And he's 21. There's a reason his nickname was 3-2. And so, it's just to see what he's doing. It's super duper impressive. And then Josh Young kind of got lost in the thick of things a little bit. We're talking about
he's the one that opened it up with the home run in the first game. He's the one that opened up the scoring. So,
I mean, if that dude would have stayed healthy, he's the rookie of the year, 100%.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it, And it was so impressive how mature. And it's funny you calling Evan Carter a kid. He's just a couple of years older than you are.
Yeah, I know. You're not the first.
But anyways, it's impressive watching such a young player go up there and watch both games. Guys throwing 99, 100 miles an hour, and he's watching it an inch outside the zone for a ball. I mean, just unbelievable patience. Yeah, they're calling.
He played at AAA either. He barely. Yeah,
he hardly played there.
But he was only there for about a week, wasn't he?
Yeah,
it was something like that. Maybe a week and a half, and then Adolis got hurt, and then all of a sudden, let's get Evan Carter up and get him some. It was. I mean, I would imagine they were playing to win. They thought Evan Carter could help them win right away. It wasn't a let's get this guy a cup of tea and then send him back down, because Bochy made it very, very apparent at the beginning of the season. They made it apparent. Chris Young made it apparent with the moves that he made in the offseason. Like, no, we're going. We're not. It's not a next year thing. We're doing it now. And Bochy calling up Evan Carter, it wasn't. Again, last year it would have been like, let's get this guy some at bats. Let's get this kid some at bats in the season. He's coming up in crunch time, and he's coming through in the clutch, and it's amazing. It's funny too that you say he's had at least he's got 5+ walks thus far in the playoffs, and then Corey Seager goes and gets 5 walks in one game. Talk about that, because he wasn't eager Seager, as I guess you could say. He wasn't going up there just hacking. One thing that people think about Corey Seager is that he's going to go up there and swing at the first pitch no matter what. Not really. He's got a pretty good eye, but his zone, he can expand the zone with his bat, inside, outside, up and down. And if it's not there, he's not going to swing. Sometimes he does get fooled, but I mean, everybody does. He's on another level when it comes to pitch recognition in my mind.
Yeah. I agree. I think one thing too, I tweeted this during the game. I was like, it's impressive to see someone as aggressive as him that's, it has such good plate vision, because most of the time when you think of aggressive hitters, like you think of reckless guys that are swinging at stuff that's in the other batter's box, but he's really not like that. And I mean, when he does swing at pitches that are outside the zone, I mean, a lot of times he does damage on them. So it's really impressive to see. And I think that's too, that's like you mentioned Garver earlier, but that's why it's so important that Mitch Garver's behind him in the lineup, because it's that fear factor and that protection is so important too. And so it's like, sure, Corey Seager, he's a great hitter and he's going to knock in runs, but you need someone behind him when he does walk 5 times. And so it's really impressive to see that, but just his aggressiveness and his, the way he remains patient through that, it's impressive.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, y'all both said it. I mean, I couldn't say it any better. But, 5 walks, MLB history, made MLB history on that. That's pretty impressive. And, like CJ, like you were talking about, he is trigger happy, let's be honest. But it's not like he's swinging at terrible pitches. I mean, he has a huge strike zone. And Kane made a good point, too. If you pitch him to the outside, he usually takes it opposite field. There's not really a spot in that zone where you can pitch to him. I mean, he finds a way to get on base one way or another, whether it's 5 walks or base hits. So it was good seeing. It was good seeing them work the pitchers. We went through their bullpen. We completely depleted their bullpen yesterday.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they've got left heading into Texas. I know that you had the day off, but still they used, 5 or 6 pitchers out of the pen yesterday.
Well, it was hard to begin with. I think
Chase Bradish early too. So
people were talking about was that the Orioles bullpen, it was already thin to begin with. Like they just lost Bautista for the year.
Right.
They had a couple starters that they had moved back there and stuff. So, I mean, it was already thin. And so just the way that the Rangers were able to chase out starters early and kind of, go through their bullpen, that plays in a series, especially like with the travel day and it was one day off, but I think their bullpen is still a little bit worn out. And I mean, you're right on the accelerator. They just got one more push to make and you're done. Like you've got them exactly where you want them.
Well,
yeah, I want to take care of it tomorrow. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because then if you do lose tomorrow, then you're actually fighting for your life, because if you lose that game 4, you're heading right back to Baltimore. And I mean, how loud it is there. And Texas is going to be very, very loud. but they have to carry that momentum over. That is the biggest thing. Just get it done while you're there. Get it done tomorrow. Get you some extra days rest, and then get ready for the ALCS. But I say just get it done. Don't focus on just getting 1 out of 2 at home. Get it done tomorrow.
Well, that's going to be interesting to see tomorrow, too. This is going to be the first home playoff game that the Rangers have had in the new stadium.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's no telling how the sound and all that stuff's going to go. And they've kind of lowered the amount of attendance this ballpark takes. And then having the dome, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty. I don't know. Kane, what's the weather like over there? Is it nice?
It's nice. Yeah, it's definitely roof open weather. That decision is up to the MLB for playoffs, and so
keep it closed. I want that noise inside the stadium.
Yeah,
keep it closed.
They would help us out.
I'm cool either way. As someone that's going to the game, I love it when the roof is open. I think that place is absolutely gorgeous when the roof is open. So I'm a roof open guy, but it is definitely louder in there when the roof is closed. And either way, I think, look, this team is at home for the first time since September 24th. Like, they're going to have an extra something in their step. I mean, they're in front of their home fans for the first time. Seattle was rocking when they went there. Baltimore was rocking, when they went there. So, home field advantage, people say it does or doesn't. It absolutely plays in baseball. And you're going to see it tomorrow, and I'm super excited. Anyone that's going, be loud. Like, bring that Section 133 energy to all around the stadium. Like, we need it rocking in there. Close
and bring your singing voices to the game.
Yeah, bring your creed knowledge, because I don't
start touching up on your creed. And the rally towels tomorrow are going to be red. Just FYI. So if you want to go dressed in Ranger red to match there you go, buddy. There you go. And
hey, Kane, try to grab us some extra rally while you're there.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's going to be a red out tomorrow. So look forward to it. I just can't wait. And it's a night game. It's
way better night game.
It's going to be so nice. It's going to be so awesome to see, and I can't wait. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with you with Kane and Tyler on the Ranger Report podcast. Welcome back to the Ranger Report podcast here with Tyler and Kane. And we haven't mentioned a whole lot about the pitching. We did a little bit, so let's kind of turn the corner and talk about that. Montgomery and Eovaldi in the first 2 games of the Tampa series, outstanding. And then Andrew Heaney, kind of an unsung hero if you want, coming in and giving 4+ innings and saving a little bit of the bullpen because Dane Dunning was able. They were kind of just did a tandem start. Is really what it was.
It was.
Heaney was going to go out there and get a few innings, and if he hopefully you hope that he give you a few innings, and he did just that. And then Dane Dunning came out, who I just firmly in my mind, he's the team MVP as far as the season goes, the whole season as a whole, because of the different roles he's had to play, and then coming in and replacing DeGrom in the rotation as seamlessly as he did. And he came in, pitched well, and then turned it back over to the 7th, 8th, and 9th guys. The pitching's been good, guys, and the bullpen's been good, except for that one Brock Burke 9th inning yesterday. Had a little bit of a struggle, and I know Leclerc gave up a run too, but Leclerc has looked really good. He's pumping it up there at 98, and he might be pumping it up there at home with that home crowd behind him. He might have a little extra juice. So let's talk about the pitching. And first, Jordan Montgomery coming over from Seattle at the trade deadline and really, really becoming a workhorse for the Rangers. Tyler?
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. I mean, everybody's talking about how we got Scherzer. Montgomery was a afterthought after the trade deadline, and he's came in and been our saving grace. If you really think about it, I think if it wasn't for Montgomery, we're not sitting here right now doing this podcast. To be completely honest with you,
that's true.
I think we would already wrapped up our season a long time ago.
Yeah, Garver's another one, and
Garver.
Dane Dunning, we can go down at that Spores coming on midway part of the season. I mean, there's a ton of guys we can say that to.
Evan Carter. Evan Carter that we just got done talking about. I mean, it's
Josh
just
Young and Adolis coming back at the same
coming back from their
same
injuries.
game.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, but I think Montgomery. I mean, honestly, though, it's just. I mean, that was the biggest trade, in my opinion, that we could have gotten. You know, I mean, we were like, okay, we got Jordan Montgomery. I mean, yeah, he had some pretty good stats in St. Louis, but he comes over here, and like I said, he's been our saving grace. And like I said, I don't think we'd be sitting here right now talking about the Rangers and Kane going to the game tomorrow, you know, for game 3 of one game away from going to the American League Championship. And it's pretty exciting. It's good. It's a good feeling to be a Rangers fan right now. We're on cloud nine. I know I am. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is cloud nine. Like I've only been working for 2 years, but I mean, I've grown up in DFW my whole life, and I know what it means to this community, in this Metroplex, and to sit through what we sat through. I mean, I was a Ranger I wasn't a bandwagon when I was a quote unquote fan. I wasn't a bandwagon. Like, I was sitting there watching that crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to opening day 2019 and the lineup was mid, as kids down my age would say. But it's like, we sat through it for 6 years, and now to reap the benefits of it, it's been exciting. And to see that's your team doing that, you know, not, you know, we get to watch the postseason and your team's in it. We get to watch the All-Star game this year and all of your players are in it. And that's like, it's exciting for everybody. And, you know, people, I know, you know, you guys are not from, you know, y'all don't live here, but you walk around here and everyone's wearing the stuff. I walk around DBU every day. I go to class and everyone's wearing the stuff and everyone's talking to me about it. It's like, people care, and that's going to show tomorrow, but it couldn't be a better time to be a Ranger fan.
Probably a good idea we're getting you on the podcast tonight rather than tomorrow or the next day, because you probably won't have a voice.
Probably not.
And so you're going to the game tomorrow, and you're going to get to see Nathan Uvalde, who I guess next man up became the ace before he got injured. He was lights out, and then he went back to form against against Tampa Bay in game 2 to ice that one. He was Nathan Uvalde. That splitter was nasty. The slider was nasty. Every now and then a curveball. Everything was working. Wherever he wanted it to go, he was putting it. And that's scary. And 8 Ks. I mean, that's scary if you're Baltimore. You're coming out. You just got gut punched at home 2 games, and now you got to come face a guy who might be in prime time shape to welcome them, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, he said, you know, when asked about it, he was talking about how, you know, he hadn't been as good off the IL, and all of a sudden it was like a switch. He said, I know what it means. He knows what it means to be here. He won the World Series. He was the best player, period, on the Boston Red Sox when they won the World Series. So he knows what it means to be here. And you're seeing like that start against Tampa, that was like May Nathan Eovaldi when he won pitcher of the month. Like, that was peak, like all you could have asked and more. And so especially, you know, you didn't know if you were going to get that. So I think tomorrow, you know, if he can pitch anywhere near what he was in that first game, I think you're in a good spot. But also too, if he can't, because let's be real, like that was one game. I think he needs to do what Jordan Montgomery did yesterday. Is like, he didn't have his best stuff, but he kept the team in it, right? Good pitchers know how to win with their B stuff and even their C stuff. And so it's like, you know, I think Evaldi's in a good spot right now. And, you know, stuff was working in his last outing. So, you know, I think the Rangers, you're where you want to be on the pitching side of things. Definitely. You're in a way better spot than the Orioles are on the pitching side of things. I mean, they started a rookie in the last game and he wasn't very good. And now you got Dean Kramer going tomorrow, who, let's be honest, isn't as good as Nathan Eovaldi.
No.
Well, Kane, you make some really good points there. I think as a Ranger fan, you couldn't feel any more confident, especially having Eovaldi on the mound with his postseason experience, and he knows how to handle these types of situations. So I feel really, really good having him going in for game 3, because I think, you know, you wouldn't want any other pitcher on the mound for this game, and I think he's the perfect option for it. I don't know how you feel about that, CJ, but I'll let you chime in a little bit on that.
No, it's a big game. It's a win and move on game, and he's been there, and that says a lot. Look at the Orioles roster. How many of them have been there?
Exactly.
I don't think any. I mean, I don't want to say that outright, but not many. I can say that.
Maybe Aaron.
Just
maybe
you
Aaron
can say
Hicks.
the same about the Rangers too, but
maybe Aaron Hicks.
Aaron Hicks Aaron Hicks for sure.
Yeah. I can think of Hicks for sure.
About Aaron Hicks.
I think too, though, I mean, when you're in sports in general, like when you're in a closeout game, you need people that are going to rise to the occasion. Like, why do you think every time the NBA playoffs come around, we talk about how good LeBron James is in closeout games? Like, you want your people that have been there, that have done that know how to close out series to be, playing for you. And the fact that Nathan, like, I agree with what Tyler said. There's no one better because, like, sure, Dane Dunning has been good this year and guys like that have been good this year, but they haven't been there before. I remember talking to Dane Dunning about his playoff experience, and he was like, I played in the playoffs in front of no fans. Like, I don't really have a playoff experience. And so it was like, I think this is absolutely, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, this is who you want going for you. I don't think there's anyone else. I mean, unless Jacob deGrom can get uninjured or Max Scherzer can get uninjured, like, this is who you want going for you.
Do y'all see Scherzer being if we do, let's hypothetically look forward. I mean, if we do advance to the ALDS, do you see Scherzer making the roster?
And it seems like every day. It seems like every day they're saying he's throwing high intensity bullpen sessions, and he's coming out feeling good.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've only known this dude for since he got traded here. The dude is crazy. Like, it's insane. I'm like, whoa. Like, I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, he's
even got the two different colored eyes too.
Oh yeah.
The dude is crazy. But when it first happened and I'm looking at the timetable and I'm looking at the injury, I'm like, no way. And then I'm looking and he's throwing 90 in a bullpen with all his pitches. Like, a couple weeks after an injury that is supposed to take a month to recover from. Like, honestly, it's just it's a coin flip at this point, but I wouldn't put it past the dude.
I wouldn't either. Yeah, I think if anybody would do it, it'd be Mad Max. Because, like you said, that dude is crazy, and he's been that way his whole career, as we all know. And I don't know. Yep. I mean, I'm comfortable with where our team's at right now, but can you imagine having him back? I mean, that's just another shot in the arm right there. It's just your team does get better, in my opinion.
And think about this too, though. If I was Bruce Bochy, okay, obviously Max Scherzer is a starting pitcher, but it's going to take him a while to build up. What if, like, you're like, okay, we're good starting pitching wise. Let's throw this dude in the bullpen, and when we're up,
he would be open to that too.
Like, and I when I was real little, but in what World Series was the Giants versus the Royals? 2014, when Madison Bumgarner was like a Swiss Army Bruce Bochy. Yeah. I mean, could you imagine Max Scherzer in that role? Like, that would be nasty. And so, I mean, I wouldn't put it past the dude. Like, he thought, I guess when he was on the Mets, you didn't think you were going to get a chance to win this year. Then he gets traded and it's like, oh shoot, like I have a chance to win this year again. Like he did in 2019. Like, he's been on some darn good teams without winning, Yeah.
And he's itching to get back out there. I mean, it's the postseason. And that's why they acquired him. Like, Ben made a really good point on I don't remember how many podcasts ago it was, but he was like, they didn't acquire Scherzer for the regular season. They acquired him for moments just like these. And 100%. From what, like TJ said, from what I'm hearing, if what they're saying is true, it doesn't look like he's far out from being ready to be up here. So his bullpen sessions are going really good from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, we can say this. He's going out there every day and throwing bullpen sessions, and he's coming off feeling good. And like Kane said, the dude's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, if you knew nothing about that dude, like, and let's say he wasn't a baseball player, like, he's a completely normal person. Like, he's one of the coolest guys that I've met there. But then, like, you hear this stuff that he's doing on a baseball field, and you're like, what the heck? Like, this dude's crazy. But then he'll throw his bullpen, and it's like spectacular. That's like, how did he even do that with the injury? And then he walks by you like he just, clocked his office job. Like, it's crazy. I don't get it, but
when you've been there long enough, I mean, that's a future Hall of Famer. So, how awesome would it be for Bochy? Hey, going into the World Series, let's go ahead and pull a future Hall of Fame pitcher out. Whether they use him in the bullpen or however they do it, that's the key. I think, Kane, you hit it. Was the pitch count. How many pitches can he throw? He's not going to be able to build up. He's not going to, all that good stuff. But you look at Eovaldi and really all the Rangers core guys that were injured for some point this season, none of them went down to AAA to get some warm up at bats, a few games here and then back up. None of them went down. Eovaldi didn't go down to get his innings up or get his pitches up in the minor leagues. He just came straight off the IL and pitched. So
Well, that wasn't even like,
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's an organizational thing from the standpoint. They were like, look, like we're trying to win right now. Like I talked to Evaldi after he got off the IL. I talked to Josh Young after he got off the IL. They both like, they were like, rehab was not even presented to me. Like the man in the front office didn't even present that to them. And so it's like this is it. Like they're just trying to win. Like
If you can play, you're playing.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
And
Dude,
that's
I-
ALCS. The ALCS, the rosters get expanded. Am I right?
I believe so.
Or does it still stay at 40?
It used to. I know it used to.
Because that's
That's a
another
good
dilemma
question.
you have. I mean, bringing Scherzer back up, but I mean, who would you send? Who would you leave off the roster?
Well, Matt Bush, which I can't
Yeah.
believe he's back. He's back.
Yeah, you got
Dude,
Matt Bush.
Matt Bush, man. It's not a Rangers team without Matt Bush. Let's be real.
I know, man. It's
Yeah,
it's
true.
just weird. It is weird to see him back up on the roster. But, well, hey, Kane, you have fun tomorrow. And
Yeah.
me and Tyler will certainly be watching it. I'm feeling pretty relaxed right now, but I'm sure once I see that crowd going nuts.
Dude,
Yeah,
my heart rate
I'm gonna-
cannot take these games.
I know,
Like,
man. I know. And I
Kane,
gotta
you better-
get up. I gotta
Kane,
get
you
up at
better
6
start
a.m.
learning
to
those
watch
lyrics
next.
tonight.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know I'm
You
about
have
to
your
go
homework,
study
Kane. Yeah, don't even show up to any classes tomorrow. Just tell your professors, hey, I was given a homework
I creed
assignment from. I had to look up. Yep. There you go. Well, guys, it's been fun. Ben, yeah, again, he's adulting and doing adult stuff while we're playing. around here on the
adulting.
podcast. Hey, well, you just wait, buddy. It sucks.
Your
But,
time is coming, dude.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you guys for hopping on. It was a blast, and it's not as much as a blast as it's going to be tomorrow. So get your red on,
Kane, have a good time, man.
Thank you.
Tyler. Kane,
Thanks, DJ.
thank you. Adios, folks. Time to drop the deuces.
Peace. I'll catch y'all later.
Thanks for listening to the Ranger Report podcast. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and at therangerreport.com.